All right, we are live. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. Boo boo.
How you doing, Professor?
Good to see you again.
Man, good to see you.
Even though we've been sitting here for hours. We just got done filming a little curriculum videos.
Yeah.
Hanging out, talking.
With Coach Jordan.
Yo,
Coach.
Jordan, the man behind the scenes, doing all this work. I hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
Tough times,
Yep.
but interesting times, right? Very interesting times. Let's get better at something while we're in these times, right? So what we have prepared today, everyone, is we're going to do a Q&A, but we also recorded a video. The other day we trained, did not socially distance, since we're not socially distancing anyway, right? You and I have been...
We're essential to the jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been in a monogamous jiu-jitsu relationship. Just me and Alex.
Right.
Okay? I stole that one from Jordan. So we trained and we recorded a little bit of it. And
First time in weeks, so.
Right.
So please be understanding.
I want to be super clear with this recording. We talked about it. Alex didn't touch my lapels. So therefore, I was able to know what to do.
Offensively
And defensively. No way. If he touches my lapels, it gets a little crazy. So we are going to break down some footage. Are there any questions, Jordan? Do we have anything?
So far, not yet, but if they want to go ahead and get them in, we can.
So go ahead and start asking your questions. But we're going to switch now to this live video, or this online video, and we will stop at some positions, right?
Nice, yeah.
I think we're just starting right here in the daily Hiva, it looks like.
Nice. So there's the off balance that everybody would be seeing in the advanced classes. Ooh, Professor's an uber athlete. Left his
That's
leg,
a perspective. That's a perspective. I like to leave my leg. We talked about this.
Yeah, here comes the back attack.
Yes.
So, Professor,
You want to do this?
here, I'm just curious as to where exactly are you headed when you feel me drop back on that knee bar?
So when I have somebody drop on that knee bar, I turn my leg to the outside, right? So it's kind of like a 50-50 position, and then I want your back.
Yeah.
Okay? So I came up behind you, you spun on the knee, right? Like we were here, okay? And now look, what I want, I know that right now, my left knee is on his chest, which is not good for me. He will finish that knee bar. So I'm gonna take this knee and I'm gonna slide it underneath of him. And it's gonna turn my knee to the sky, or out, right? So if we rotate right now, boom, okay? You can go back down wherever we are. And now with my right hand, I like to come and get this grip. Because if I can, right, I'm gonna push, I'm gonna step my leg out, extract my knee if I can, and now start looking at your back.
Nice.
Right? Which is more of a no-gi move, but because you hold my pant here, right?
Right.
You stay on the pant, so we get this stuck. But the first thing I want to do is I've escaped my knee line.
Yep.
Because that puts you in more danger than me now, right?
Right.
Like, so again, we were like this. This is the initial entrance, right? And a lot of times people try to bend this.
Right.
To no avail. If you're strong, to avail. But like, you can only be so strong if you go on the end of my lever, which is the heel, right?
Right.
So go on my heel. So here, you can I can try to bend all I want, and nothing's gonna happen. So that's why I stick my leg through the space a little more, so you lose a little bit of that pressure, right?
Yeah, right your knee.
Right. That extension pressure, and then I turn.
Yeah.
Right? What I don't want you to do is put me in the 50-50.
Right. Feels like my only option now.
Right. You know?
I feel way off.
So I really try to push and get here.
Yeah.
Right away. Because now your 50-50 is not 50-50 anymore.
Right. I won't be able to turn your leg because I've lost the knee line.
You've lost the knee line.
Word.
And now I work from here. What I'm trying to do is get here, come to a leg drag position, and come up to your back.
Slick. Something you're known for almost, right? Like every time we train, like a It's almost like we talked about a little bit earlier. It's a choice I have to make, right? Because I could hide from it. Like I know you're really skilled at escaping that knee bar and getting my back. But if I don't walk towards that position, I limit myself, right? I can't grow through it. I can't get better from it. I almost have to walk towards something I know I'm going to struggle with because you're so skilled at it.
Yeah, that's the goal for all of us, right?
Right.
It's so hard to do outside of black belt sometimes, I feel, right? Because like people look at the black belt and they're like, oh, I finally got my black belt.
Right.
Like they're allowed to be good now. They're allowed to go get good.
Right.
And we talked about this the other day, where like all the way up through, it's so hard to do because you're like, oh man, I want to get good.
Yeah.
And like, so the winning and the losing of it gets in the way.
It seems to matter so much.
Right.
You have to look good in front of professor every training.
Every training.
Yeah.
Right? There's a position that you do to me later on in the video where you post your head and jump over that I want to look at too when we get there.
Yeah, I'm down.
Anything or keep going?
Yeah, we do. Chris Messina on YouTube
Yo!
is asking, what does this look like no-gi when you don't have the lapel to grab at the back of the collar?
Oh man, it's even better, Chris. It's so much better no-gi.
Take these off?
Yeah, let's take this off real fast. I have shorts over there.
Oh man, I don't have any shorts. Can we just use the
Yeah. So we have to imagine, Chris, now too, that he can't grab my pants either, right? Because there's nothing to grab. So you sit on my knee, right? We're here. Look, so once I get here, boom, okay? And I sit through. Look, if you can see, his armpit is open right here, okay? So his armpit is open, and I'm gonna bring my heel right to his right leg is on the ground right now. So I bring my heel right to the pocket of that hip because he can't grab my pant either. My hand is I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna shoot my hand into the armpit, and now look, I'm gonna be right on his back, knee high, and now here we go. Okay, my hook comes in, so you can see where my foot was. This was the position, just laying down the other way, right? And now hook comes in one, he's gonna have to be here defending, and now it clears through, and I have the back. Nice. Chris, I hope that made sense. Because you have to think, in the gi, let's look at it again in the gi, without grabbing the lapel part. With the gi pants, like when I turn here, he holds my gi pant, right? So his hand is on my gi pant, and I can't get what I want, which is my heel right here in this hip pocket. But no gi, right? I'm sitting, and let me get here, my knee is underneath, and I pull this heel tight as I clear that knee line. So that now, even with your armpit collapsed here, it's really hard for him to stop this entrance of the hand, right? And then I'm getting up, and now I'm on the back.
Slick.
Very cool. We got one more.
Yep.
One more on YouTube from Endura.
Okay.
This isn't related to the video you were just watching, but he's asking, oh, it's Chris Gunderson. That's who it is. Got it.
What up?
What up, Chris? He's asking, what are some of the professor's favorite combination passes? For example, if the knee cut doesn't work, what's their next go-to? This question is for gi or no gi. So you guys could probably double team this one.
What do you think, Professor? Where
You go first.
Yeah, I'm down. So, we've been looking a lot at the De La Hiva in our advanced classes. So, I would like to start there, right? Particularly looking at the headquarters position. Kind of tie that knee slice and leg weave all together. Something that big fan of that I learned from Professor Eliot. All right.
He says he learned everything from me.
Come on, let's play De La Hiva, bro.
I can't remember a thing I've ever taught you.
This guy, Mr. Humble Brag. Come on, Professor. So look, I gotta be really careful with this grip. It's very easy for him to start pulling me off. And once I get elevated and my hands hit the floor, I have such a tough battle. And like we've seen in the advanced classes, it's not always safe to try to use the collar to bring myself back. Professor starts running all these little trap triangles that I'll run right into, right? So if I can, I'd really like to break the grip first. But I think it's really important that when I break the grip, I don't try to lean back when I do it. Because like we saw in advanced class, if he keeps this grip, stretches me out as I lean back, here he comes on his stand-up and base sweep. And I give up the pass, right? Or the sweep. So let's take this lead leg and really turn it out, right? I really want to get some pressure into the De La Riva hook. So when I break the grip, I can stay in my squat, right? My hips down. And now from this position, we're gonna go collar and pant. I just wanna get that De La Riva hook off and step into the snatch or the headquarters. I like the step off rather than the push, because sometimes it's just really tough, right? Like he's really strong. And when I start to push, he'll extend my leg away. And now he's sat up and we're all back into that collar grip, right? So I would prefer a little step off and then back to headquarters. For me, can I turn you this way, Professor? My headquarters will be predicated on getting my kneecap right in his hamstring. Because I don't like sitting on it too much, because here comes all those elevations again when he gets my hands back on the mat. But if I can pin the hammy, and how I feel now, Professor?
I got nothing.
Right, and we're gonna pull up on that grip, and now Professor's got to pick. If he tries to shrimp and fix the guard, turning towards his right side, go ahead, Professor, it's gonna pull us into our knee slice. This will help me because I'm gonna make him have some incentive to try to shrimp out, because I'm gonna constantly try to drive my knees through. My right leg will even walk, because if I can bring his knees together and we can start our leg weaves, and then we can make our way, just like Professor with his cool tricks. We'll get up to the back.
Why are they my cool tricks?
So, if I was gonna chain some together, it's definitely that smash pass leg weave to the knee slice. I think they're two different sides of the same coin. What about you, Professor?
I'm gonna go no-gi.
Nice.
Okay?
You wanna peel it?
Yeah. So Gordon breaks this down really well in his passing DVD. So sit up for me, Professor. If they're laying down, just go ahead and go back down, I guess. If they're laying down, this just becomes so much easier. I get to choose so much more, right? I can get a hold of toes, and then I can start stepping into the middle, okay? Because what we want is the middle, okay? I want either a same side hamstring, so my shin on his hamstring, my right to his left, so it's same, or I want to be looking at a cross. Now, when they're up a little bit, it's much harder, okay? Because I go to step in and he makes the shin-to-shin position happen, and boom, what do? Okay? So what I like to do is I like to try to create some back exposure. Maybe we'll move this way a little bit, okay? So by that, look, I'm in a good stance, okay? I step out and I go to step around. He has to address, right? When he addresses, I step, okay? And now look, I can step and I can start knee slicing, or I step here to this hamstring. Look, he's either gonna cup or he's gonna go De La Riva. Either way, I'm not really mattering. I don't really care. I'm gonna control this outside toe. I don't like to control the ankle because he has still full range, right? You circle your foot in and out, things like that, right? Here, sorry, you hit that toe.
No, you're good.
Here, much better.
Yeah, I don't
okay?
want to go.
And now look, I bring the foot in, and now here I am. I'm gonna start floating. And I like to float past him on these passes so I can start egg beatering, right? And doing all kinds of fancy things where we move. And then we can find that back again, right, Profess?
Dang. Very nice. I like it.
Awesome.
Should we get some more video?
I think we should.
Okay, let's look. I want to get to the part where you
not going into the bolo. It's forcing me into your double unders.
Right, and then
Does that make sense?
and then you're realizing that.
Right, right. Well, yeah, I'm running, but I think it's really slick. I enjoy that. Is that a pass you use a lot on the De La Hiva where you cut that shin?
Anna showed it to me.
Oh, nice.
Well, I don't know if
Okay.
she showed it to me.
Shout out to Anna.
Anna, my little ninja. I watched her do it. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, want to go over it real fast?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
And then I noticed this with the Mendez brothers too.
Yeah.
Because I watched this. I watched their. You told me to watch their site, and I've been watching their site.
Shout out. They're amazing.
They teach very well. They've been doing it for a little longer, right?
Hey.
The online thing.
So, I'm playing that De La Hiva we've been working on. Pants grip, collar grip. I'm trying to play this upper body off balance. And then where are you going?
So I'm pushing your knee down, right? And now look, I just want my knee outside of your knee,
Nice.
right? And I'm coming here.
Yeah.
And this really starts to kill your De La Hiva, right?
Right.
You know, I watched her do this all the time. She'll even like put her hip down a lot, because then it circles the foot out.
Yeah.
And she gets this grip.
Nice. I
Right.
love that.
She does this.
The
and then
cross
she
grip
starts
is nice. Yep.
driving.
I like it. So can we talk about what I should have done?
With that?
Can we talk about what I should do here?
Yeah.
So you see in the video, when you go shin to shin and you start to slice, go ahead, Professor. We're dropping. So you can notice that I'm pushing into you, trying to get your hip down, but I'm not resetting my De La Hiva hook in time, right? So I go ahead and bolo, but without that knee control, you're able to stay up, and as I turn over, it runs me into the double under. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So an adjustment I should make there, right, is that I'm gonna take my right leg, I'm gonna give you a little bit more gas to the midsection to get you off my shin. So I'm playing the game, you cut the shin, bang. So when I kick you over, it's not enough to get your knee down. I wanna get your hip down. Because now, if we'll move this hand back, just so they can see, now he's no longer knee to floor. I'm able to reset the De La Hiva. Now the De La Hiva I can pull in tight. In my Baron Bolo, won't give you the option for the double under.
I like it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's actually kind of an easy drill we can play. Will you help me again, Professor?
Yes, sir.
Just to get some practice, because as we get more comfortable with the De La Hiva, this particular pass becomes like our arch nemesis, right? Like I don't like this one. So you're gonna cut the shin for us. We're gonna go toes to belly and push him out. Getting that knee off the mat, reset our De La Hiva hook, and now Professor's gonna go ahead and stand back up and build his base. And then I can go all into the same off balance that we've been working on the other side, where we're getting our shin to shin into our X. Professor may come back up and square up, cuts the shin, and now I can run it again on this side. First I extend, I may even use my head as a post, I get his hips back. Now I can re-thread the De La Hiva. We might bolo, or we may even, kind of like what Anna was showing there, if I distance like this out, with my De La Hiva hook, I'm gonna push this hip to the floor. Does that make sense? So now I can cross grip, and we'll get up under our stand-up base.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. I think one of the things I was watching too, that knee cut that I'm doing can only happen when I'm in front of you.
Right.
So like the action of when we're here, right? And we have this person in front of us, and we're here like this, right? Taking this out, kicking it around, and really cutting this angle over here.
Off to my side.
Really on this angle. Because now you can't even.
It's so tough to turn back in.
So when you turn back in, Brad, when you really, I'm sorry, if you try to just knee cut that to the mat, it's so going to give all these bolos,
right back to the ball again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So really, I think there's two answers there.
Right.
One when you've already blown it a little bit.
Early and late.
Early and late, right? The early answer, cutting the angle more.
Word.
The late answer,
Get his hips off.
get the, yeah.
So we can get under the knee line and go back to the De La Hiva
You
hook.
stepped hard, so those of you can feel like you really stepped on me, like pushing me, so that my butt went down and my hip and my knee
Pops back
and my
up.
knee popped back up.
Word.
Awesome. I
Questions?
think we can, nope, not so far, but they're really enjoying the breakdown, so we could go back to that.
Go back to the breakdown?
Yep.
Ooh, a different attack this time.
Yeah.
Try the knee down. So the underhook's keeping us out of the bolo attempt.
Yep.
So here's where, ooh, dang, starts attacking the leg. Now,
But I kept my underhook so that you wouldn't bolo.
Right.
Right.
Which is why we get to go back.
The old man break, right? The old man break for
I need
GD.
30.
The GD, tie your pants. Right?
Yeah, they don't know about that one yet.
Guys, I want to stop it for 1 sec. Look, it's very playful, right?
Right.
We were going.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah,
we're
he's
going.
beating me up, man.
But no, I'm beating you up. What are you talking about? Right? But it's a very playful go. Like, I enjoyed it. Right?
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
I think we rolled for like 40 minutes.
Right.
And I don't think anybody tapped the whole time.
Right.
Right?
Just trying to get through the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, just trying to move.
Yeah,
Because
man.
because look, I've had a concussion for this is the first time that I've gotten to train since January.
Wow.
You know, and you hadn't trained in a couple weeks.
Yeah, man. None of us, right?
No, we weren't. It wasn't like this.
Right.
Like, okay, here we go. There's that step. That step kept driving me crazy. How you stepped on my shoulder all the time. It's so, like, you know, it's very annoying.
Yes. Oh, there it is again.
Yep.
With your knee down, I'm not able to affect a real bolo here. So we're gonna see some different attempts.
And then we go back to the same thing. Oh, no, that!
Right,
How you put your head on
right.
that. You do it better later, though.
I had to find some different answers. Your knee on the floor was really messing me up.
But you did it really well there, and then you end up in side control.
Right.
You know what you're doing?
I think that really speaks to the point that we're making, right? Like, because we're trying to see if our jiu-jitsu is working,
Right.
Not trying to like feed the ego of like I need to win this exchange. Then we get to really address the problem multiple times, right?
Right.
You've done that same pass to me a few different times. I've tried a few different looks. We get to actually train as opposed to just like that ego that maybe that brought us in, right? I want to know how to beat somebody up. Nah. Like, let's actually do something that we can do for the rest of our life.
Right.
And still learn how to beat somebody up. But by the time you can do it, man, that you have a totally different mindset as to what brings you to training.
I think, as everyone will see, I think it's all De La Riva. I don't think any of us do anything.
Right.
I'm a half guard
That's what
player.
we're working on.
Right? I'm a half guard player.
Right.
You are a lapel player.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
And we're all doing De La Riva because it's what you were showing, and we didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, yo, hey, we're going to film this training. I don't even think we knew Jordan was filming the training.
Right. It came in late.
You know? And we were just playing because it was just there.
What we're working on.
Yeah, it's what we're working on. Can I see what you're doing with this head post thing?
Yeah, of course. You want to see if we find it later on where it makes a little more sense?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's keep watching. Any questions, Jordan?
Not yet.
That side control defense, though.
I can do this all day, yes.
Nice frames.
Frames,
And
right
then,
back to it.
We're right back into it.
Oh, here comes this little chair position. Have they seen little chair yet?
Yeah, some of our students
Did
have
it
for
come?
sure.
Yeah, let's go over little chair. Let's see why I ran like I was like, oh no!
So, not that I recommend it, right? But one of my preferred ways to pass is to sit down into like almost like an ashigarami. Like we're gonna entangle the legs a little bit and then come back up, right? So not that it's like my go-to or that's what it should be your go-to. No one's saying that. But if I feel this foot high in my armpit, and or if I'm seeing a collar and sleeve style game, this distance leg I really like to attack, right? I really like to bring my knee in and sit back on it. And what this will do for me is I'm going to stop my partner's ability to play the guard and also run a leg, because we're gonna go grab this other leg as well.
So this is why I had to run.
Yeah,
Because-
you didn't want me to have this one.
Right.
Because if I get both, very difficult for a professor to leave, right?
Yes.
Can't stand up in base as long as I never let your feet hit. So about the only thing you'll get is that lateral escape, right? This side-to-side motion. And this is okay because my knee that was pinching on the inside opens the space. I keep this foot off the floor and I'll bring both knees through. Again, because Professor can't post, he can't leave, he can't come on top. And now I'll be able to rotate sides and attack the entire other leg, right? Opening both sides. And typically, if we're talking about passing, I'm doing this so I can get underneath one of these legs. And now from here, we get into that leg drag position. Depending on your style of passing, you might play the bolo game here, or you might just as easily come all the way up and just work for the pass. I really like the little chair because it keeps our opponent having to make just tough choices.
Why do you call it little chair? Why is it called
Like
little
I'm
chair?
sitting in the world's littlest chair.
Like on the airplane.
right. Back in economy. Word. Fold it up.
When we were coming back from Nogi Worlds, I was traveling with Dana Stein, right? We were on the same flight. And we were on Southwest and she had an A ticket.
Ooh,
so she got on early and saved me a seat.
Dang.
You know, she was looking out for her professor. And there was a lady sitting in the front of the seat, right, where I was gonna sit. And I walk on the plane and both of them just look at me with this sadness that I like about how big I was that I was gonna have to sit in this chair.
Oh man.
So little chair all day for us, right?
Man. Just lets me switch legs.
Yeah.
Not on the airplane. In
Yeah.
the jiu-jitsu.
Anything?
Nothing, but they're loving the breakdowns. They're saying this is killer. So
Cool.
I'm enjoying
Let's
it.
go more. Puts me back down. Well, I ran. I couldn't let him have both of my legs.
Which makes sense in the moment, right? Rather
Right.
play the guard than give up the back exposure.
Yes. Or a leg drag exposure, right?
Oh, that means I got your back, boo.
Yeah.
Ooh, some nice work here, man. Keep with that Eliot Alex. You're not letting me backstep.
Yep.
It's making that
And
ball
there it is.
difficult. Yeah,
There it is.
yeah.
There it is. Let's look at it. There it is.
Okay, so Professor's very good at defending the Berimbolo motion. So what we're talking about is, particularly from here, like we're playing that De La Hiva hook. We have that leg across the belly. And what I'm going to look for here, can I have you lay down, Professor? Is I'm trying to play the bolo game. But as I get my head to the floor, rather than lift the legs, because Professor's scooting away from me, I'm going to pull that De La Hiva hook out. I still have both grips, right? I still have the belt in the pants. And this is going to allow me to shoot my legs across, and I pull myself through back into the side control.
Nicely done.
So does that make sense?
Can I try it?
Yeah, of course.
Guys, you're gonna have to bear with me here. I want to see. I want to try this.
So you're playing your De La Hiva.
Hiva, right?
You roll over for the bolo.
Roll for the bolo.
But I know what's up, and I try scooting away.
Hey! Thanks, Professor.
Man. So it works nice for me because the bolo motion can be tough for me to make it all the way to the back. I'm not the most flexible guy in the world. I'm not super bendy. But this position is just a back roll we learn in Fundy's class.
This is very easy. I was
Right,
expecting it to be way more
The
difficult.
grips help me go.
Thanks, Professor. Guys, thanks for bearing with me so that I can learn too.
We got a quick question if you want to take a break.
Yep.
So this is, I think this is a standalone question, but Chris Gunderson is asking again. So in the gi, I think I understand him right, but he's saying from side control, extracting the arms to attack them when the opponent's defense is tight. I'm not sure if he means like a tombstone position in the bottom of side control, or like you've got the arm bar locked up and they're defending the hands. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll.
Can we let's wait and see what he says? Chris, are you there? And can you answer? What do you want the answer to be? Do you want us to be just like this tight side control, or do you want us like you already have some type of attack going and how you separate arms?
I bet it's your tight side control.
I bet it's my tight side control.
I have such a hard time digging your arms out.
Got it. So there's probably a little bit of a. He just said yes. I'm not sure which one that is.
We're gonna go yes with the tight side control.
Got it.
I'm teaching or you're teaching?
Yeah, I think that's right.
You gotta
So
show
you're-
me how to
yeah.
break this.
Okay.
I'm learning the secrets right now.
All right. So Look, where I hide, yes?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like that.
Where I hide my hands in side control is I take this far arm, okay, and I hide it in this armpit. And then my other hand is just in and protected. And this can be very hard to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
No gi, I can do this shit all day. You know, sometimes in the gi, if someone has a tight grip on my collar, it can get me in trouble with some chokes. But I would prefer for that not to be the case. Okay? Now, what you're looking for as the bottom person is you're looking for the weight. You're looking for this drive. Okay? So when this drive happens, it loads them up on this forearm, right? So that now you can lift the elbow into my neck and move me off. Right? I call it the toddler escape because it feels like a bench press, but it's not. It makes me now sit to my hip because that's what makes me feel like I'm going to keep my base. And now all Professor Alex is going to do is he's going to kick his legs in the air as I do that and then push me over like a pendulum headlock. This is what I'm looking for. Okay? Now, you only get to push them over once. Because like one time ever in your life. Because after that, when the same motion happens, right? I go down, he goes to push me back, and I just back out. And now you recover your guard. Just so we understand the escapes.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Great question. He's been doing that shit to me for years. I'm excited.
So look, when you have this hand hidden, okay, I have to hold the shoulder, but I can't drive. I have to get off of it, right? And now the hand is exposed, right? You see how this hand now, if he leaves this hand here, I can start to come inside and start to attack it, okay? So that now the arm is not where he wants it, okay? But he goes to move it. A lot of times people will put it down. When people put it down like this, now it's time to get all the way over the head, okay, into the north-south position. And now this arm is on top. This is not how he wants it, because I'm going to expose the arm as I come to the north-south. Look, elbow, hip, move the hip away, so his elbow goes to the mat. Reach over, and now look, I'm driving him up on his side. Interesting. Because he put the hand down, and when the hand goes down, the elbow comes up. And now here I am looking at attacking the Kimura. I shouldn't show you this because now you're going to pull this damn lapel out and tie me all up in that lapel.
That's amazing.
Okay?
I'm stoked.
You can't, you have to realize that they've submitted to the side control, right? I've greatly submitted to the side control when Professor has passed. I'm here. I want, for me to escape with my hands here, I need your weight. So you go off the weight, right? So he sits his hip, now put your right leg down. And now look at, I pulled his hand back too. See that?
Yeah.
And now immediately start to attack this arm inside. Yes, and now you have this, and I would go right to the north. If you get this grip, you pull the arm up and go right to the north-south from here. Yep, boom, and start to go. Yep. Or if I address that by putting it down, you grab the shoulder and pull me up.
Oh, that's slick, man. I like that.
So side control attacks don't really work so well. You have, but north-south is still side control.
Right.
You have to come to the north-south to start getting them to mix up their hands so that you can start attacking the arms.
If I can't move you, I'll move me. Mm-hmm. Word.
Chris, I hope that helped.
Very nice. Yeah, I think that is exactly what it was.
Don't show that to anybody.
Secrets.
It's all live on the internet. He's like, shh, quiet, hilarious.
But
Yeah,
this is
we
what
can
we're
go back
talking
to the
about,
video.
right? Like, you have to show people, like this idea of not showing your techniques. Like, I get it for a tournament, like you're about to do,
Right.
you and I are about to have a match, a fight to win pro for the title, blah, 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 right? But as far as like the idea of not showing your techniques, you need to show them to everybody.
Right.
You need to show them to everybody. It's the whole idea, like what we're doing with Easton.Online, right? Like, here, this is how we run our schools.
Yeah.
Ready? Here, look.
Right.
And like, if you open right next door to me, good luck, right? And if you do it with all the techniques that we have, it will force us to get better.
Yeah.
Right?
Rising tide.
Rising, yep. Coke needs Pepsi.
Word. I feel you.
And turtle. Oh, he tried to do that little man game to me, where he was gonna surf. He was gonna surf
you did
on
great,
me.
man.
He was gonna surf on me.
You need a break. Look,
Yeah.
you're getting some air now.
That Peloton ain't cutting
It's jiu-jitsu, man.
it.
So let's see. We reset.
Where do we go?
Right away to some control. I think that's really important. Like when we
Yes.
talk about going first,
Yes.
like play your game. Like what are you doing rather than reacting to what they're doing?
You're trying to get that knee in my hamstring there. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh. This is that back position I really like.
Right. Escaping those hips.
Old man break again.
Just roll out of bounds.
Juice! What do we got going on? Here we go. There's the same position.
Yeah, man. That pass is nice.
Now I try to do something different here. I try to put both knees in
Right.
so that you don't control that rear leg. And then I lose it here for a second. I try to make a jump to your back and I blow it right there and I miss. And now we end up in
And
the
then
same
the
position.
same position we worked on, right?
And I think I did that because I'm okay with the same position again. And this time I ended up, but you were being nice.
I'm running away, bro.
Yeah, we're moving.
Side control's better than the
Side
back.
control's better than the back.
Ooh, saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell. So I want to play with that position for a second. When I jump my knees in, right, when I get the knee out, like that knee cut part,
Uh-huh.
and then you're turning over and you're not able to kick me there yet, right?
Right.
Because I think
You gotta
there's
help me.
something
I'm
there.
not sure where
Right,
we're
so
looking.
I'm barely even, right?
Yep.
So then we're here, right? We get this, and then you were bellying down.
Yeah, as I start to turn.
You start to turn here,
I'm trying to get this leg.
right? And now I was coming here.
Right.
This is what I want,
Yeah.
right? And I wasn't killing that foot, right? So that's my mistake. I was letting this top leg be on the outside too much,
Uh-huh.
right? Because from here, look, I can start to strip this.
Right, yeah. If I can't keep that leg, I'm in a really tough battle.
Right.
Trying to get this foot underneath
Underneath of me
to attack that
to attack
cross
it.
option.
Yeah.
Word.
I have to get your other leg inside there.
Yeah, I feel super trapped, man. Once you break the grip, I lose the ability to tilt you.
tilt me.
Because as long as I can tilt you like we did there, I'm going to thread the leg.
Right.
Right? Try to attack that knee bar cross ashi position.
Same position. Here we are again. Here's me.
Yeah, I tried a different approach. Something I was a little hesitant to do as a lower belt was if I felt the guard breaking, standing up to reset.
Right.
Right? It feels a little scary to
So
disengage.
important.
Man, really nice pants control there. I was trying to spin around to re-guard, dropping the knee inside.
And then you scared me right here. I had a lot of practice for this, baby. J Jack is the inventor
Might be my favorite
of
sweep,
all
man.
of this. But I was like, no, get out of here. You want to show it?
Yeah, of
All
course.
right.
I'll show that.
So if you want to know who the inventor of like the lapel guard is, it's J Jack in Maine. We're talking like 2001 maybe. Okay, he used to do all of this lapel stuff, and we used to just yell at him. And then he would tie you up with your belt, like he would do this escape that Alex is about to do. And literally, I would have him in side control, and I'd feel him like on my belt, and then I would just go like this. Inside control. I just ripped my belt off, right? So that was my thing. That as soon as I passed Jay's guard, I took my belt off.
That's funny.
So, yes, that means that this sweep is going to come from a very bad position. Please don't ever do it, right? But if you find yourself there and you want to have some fun, we're going to check to see if his belt's really tied, right? Because when our partner goes north-south, obviously I would like to do better escapes, right? More skillful escapes here. But with Professor, man, once he gets into this nice north-south, some of my traditional escapes I find very difficult to do. So in the gi, we can cheat a little bit. You see this belt? I'm gonna make sure it's tied, right? Give it a little pull, and then I'm gonna go collect the head. I wanna keep him stuck for a second. I'll probably grab just one band.
so I get a little extra slack. And now from here, I'm gonna ball up and put my foot in the belt. Now, we're basically gonna go tornado sweep, which means you need some grips. I'd like to go to his pants because now my right leg is gonna kick and I'm gonna elevate.
Nice and gentle. I'll set him down. You'll notice, because of his great north-south positioning, it puts me into a really nice back control. As long as I'm stepping on the belt, it's not like he's gonna get up and run away. I'll be able to set my hook and we'll go to work. The cool thing about the sweep, besides it looking amazing,
Take your belts off.
is that if he defends it, we can take his back the other way. So, Professor, can we try it one more time?
Yep.
Let's see, can I turn you this way?
So same idea, make sure the belt is free. And now we're gonna go get his head just to make sure we got some time while we get our feet in. Now, when I go to get the grips on the pants, it's very common for this guy to sprawl his legs away. Right, but notice how that shifted his weight? Now instead of being able to kick him over, I'm gonna kick towards his hips.
And it's gonna start sliding me off the back, straight into the same exact back control where I'm using the belt to keep his hips down while I set my other hook. Have some fun with that, but please don't let them pass guard just to run the sweep.
Pass guard, you just catch the legs, right? Leg locks.
Right. It's not like that.
Keep going.
Yep.
Ooh, some floating.
Yeah.
I tried to get sneaky.
Yep, you got sneaky. But our favorite position.
Yeah. Which again, right? Like you're playing a lot of De La Hiva to practice. I really want to figure out your escape here. So I put myself there as often as I can, even though I give up my back a lot, trying to get more skillful, not worried about the score or winning, right? Like I'm trying to improve.
I don't remember what happens here.
Ooh, yeah.
Come on, top.
Caught me on the angle, so
Now here we go.
it's almost a win.
Yep. You got to win. Now here we go back to little chair.
Yeah.
Now this time, I'm not running so hard because I control that sleeve.
Right. I can't control the other leg, so we're going to try a little different approach.
Knee line escape. And
Yeah, you pulled your leg back really well there. We were going to look at some matrix. Nice.
now, just a nice calm roll, right? Like, you
Yeah,
didn't have to go to the
dude.
bottom there, right?
We're not trying to get crazy here. It's our first time training. It's really important, right? I think it's really important as we make our way back to training during this time, almost treating it like coming off an injury, right? Coming back with that really intentional pace to make sure we don't get hurt our first time back on the mat.
And it's so hard because you just are itching to get back on the mat, right?
We're so excited to train.
Guys, let's look at this position real fast. So he just went over little chair, okay? So I know what he wants, okay? He wants this, yes?
Right.
So as soon as he was sitting back, I got this.
Yeah.
So that now it makes it very hard for you to finish my foot,
Right.
right? Because you only have one hand. You're not even gonna try really.
No, it'd be a waste of time.
Right. And now I don't have to just do this escape, right? Like I can turn and look at the foot on the floor escape,
Yep.
okay?
My favorite.
Your favorite, right? Building your weight back up. So I have the grip, I'm gonna build my weight back up, and now from here where I would like to go is boom, okay? Your legs are very tight, and back step. It doesn't happen, but you bail, I bail. But that's what we're looking at doing, right?
Right.
Getting weight on that foot. But it comes first from the control of the secondary sleeve.
Grip fighting.
Grip fighting.
Right. Who's winning the hands?
You were winning the whole time. I was in defense mode.
Right. But by being ahead of me in the grip exchanges, I
Right.
can't really capitalize on what I'm working on.
Right.
So the gripper's winning.
Yeah, and so just paying attention. I lost a little bit. I was behind. So I didn't try to win.
Right. Stay
Right?
safe.
I just needed to survive.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think really needs to be talked about more sometimes, right? Is like,
Absolutely.
it's not always winning time,
Man.
right? It's
Yeah.
it's survival time. It's can I endure in this moment, right?
Jiu-jitsu in life.
Yeah.
Man. Like, you can do everything right and it can still go wrong.
Right.
And jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, jiu-jitsu has helped me more than anything in my life, realizing that it can be a struggle, and that doesn't mean that I'm failing, right? Like, I can be having a hard time and still be making my way through it.
Right.
I can get comfortable with that uncomfortableness enough to stay not defeated, right? Keep getting back up.
I could never imagine being here on a Tuesday at 6 o'clock,
Right.
right? Because normally, where am I? I'm in Denver,
Yep.
right? I'm in Denver and I'm teaching, and like, just to talk about it, right, a little bit, like, you never imagined, for me, I
Right.
never imagined fully open, like, chugging up the hill, like, oh yeah, we are charging,
Right.
to stopped,
Yeah.
right? To stopped. But jiu-jitsu does that, right? You are charging, I'm about to pass the guard, boom! Oh my God.
Right.
Oh, it's all over. Right? It's all over. What do you do?
Right.
Right? So, is jiu-jitsu saving my life right now? You're damn right it is.
Man.
Right? You're
Yeah.
damn right it's saving my life, because it's shown me that loop before.
Right.
So that now that I'm actually in the loop, it didn't just be like, oh my God, what do I do?
Because it can't be all just talk, right? It can't just be a hobby. It's
Right.
not something that you pretend on the nights you come to jiu-jitsu class. Like, we're practicing a way of thinking that is applicable to every walk of life.
The
right?
only walks of life that I would say truly matter, and that's how we deal with each other,
Yeah.
right? Our families, how we walk through this life together, and
Right.
that. So, I know we sidetracked there, but I thought it was a good sidetrack.
That's good stuff. We got one quick question.
Yeah.
Again, another standalone question. So they're asking about, from the turtle position, setting up the crucifix to a bow and arrow choke.
Nice.
Can we handle it?
Oh, you got it, Professor.
No, you.
You sure?
Yeah.
So, if I'm lucky enough to get him into the turtle, I'm gonna have to win some inside space, right? I wanna get in between the elbow and ribs. So I'm gonna use my knees to help me set up this entanglement. So we're being a little careful, right? I really don't wanna get too heavy into this grip, get my elbow caught and rolled over. It's a little harder to stop than we'd like to risk, right? So I'd rather have this hand a little bit shallow. I still like to have the lapel. You might punch that hand in for your spiral ride. Kind of up to you. I want to get this elbow away from the ribs. So when we come in here, I like to threaten the clock choke. So he'll put his hands up and defend. And now my knee gets in his ribs and I'll slide that elbow out. Does that make sense? From this position, I'm going to step over and man, we're ready to rock and roll. Now, depending on the size of your opponent, you may go over the top, you may roll backwards, you might finish here if you catch this arm in the right position. But for me, personally, I don't like to smush too many people, so I'm gonna slide my leg in and sit down. As I sit down, this hand is already punching for the choke. I think that's really important for this particular choke. If I wait until we're here, Professor starts all his defenses and it's just this big battle, and it can get really tough to separate this elbow from the ribs. I almost have to be stronger than my opponent to get it to work. But if during the sit back, I'm disorientating my opponent as well as bringing the hand over the head for the choke. This is gonna allow me to extend my legs, extend my hands, and pro tip, this guy, he likes to escape by getting his head to the floor. He's gonna almost come under the choke, right? So for me, anytime I'm playing like a bow and arrow style choke, I like to take my pinky. And turn it to the chest. So I'm gonna go here. And what the difference Professor will feel is here I'm getting a nice little torque on the neck, but there's some space down here on this side of the throat. If I'll turn my pinky down, I can hug my elbow to my ribs. And now I'm gonna be able to really pull into that choke. With this motion, there's no sliding under the choke because my thumb is setting his chin up on a little platform, and here we'll finish. I hope that's helpful.
Pro tip, that was cool.
That was super cool. All right, we got a couple more questions.
Okay.
So Jennifer Mills
Jan.
Hey.
is asking tips for a small player to maintain position, like side control and mount. So maintaining the top position in those.
Ooh, that's a good one. Go ahead, Professor.
Mount. Let's do mount
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
right? I think that's the hardest one. So I will say, first of all, neither Alex nor I would have ever been described as small. Okay? But I think one of the things that we have to realize is when we're mounted on somebody is we want what's called our hooks in still. Okay? Which is my heels digging in to their butt where my feet cross underneath of them. One of the biggest mistakes that you see people make is that when this person bucks, you try to ride them like a horse, okay? So I put my hands on the ground, he bucks, and I try to like ride him. Well, eventually, like, I mean, you've all seen bull riding, right? 8 seconds isn't like, that's a short amount of time, right? Like, it's not like 8 seconds and you're the winner. Right? Like, so.
Right. So it's
know?
tough to hold me down when I really want out.
Right, So I have to do the opposite, okay? I have to slide my feet back. Let's turn this way, Professor. Okay? And I have to dig my heels in. I personally like to cross my feet so that my heels are really pulling tight into his butt. Okay? I have a wide base. There's really no pressure right now, right, Professor? A little bit. But when I feel a buck coming, I go opposite of him. I pick my feet up and I put my hips in. You can hear the deep breath that he just took. Okay? Like, that's the key, is you have to have these hooks. If you don't have these hooks and you're just here, you're going to be riding like a bronco, right? You're going to be getting bucked everywhere. Okay? The second thing that I like to do, other than the hooks position, is I like to set a hand, either under the head or in the collar, and move off to the side where I know they want the buck and roll. Okay? So for example, if I put my right hand in the collar, I put my weight off to my left because I know he's not buck and rolling me left. Okay? He's got to buck and roll me right. And now I want him to buck and roll me. Go ahead. My hips, my hooks go in a little bit. I stop it. He'll stop. And that's when I can start to come to attack the neck.
Yeah.
Okay, I think too often we get to these really good positions.
Right.
We get way too excited.
Yeah.
They said the mount's good. That means I'm winning, and then therefore I just right. You see it a lot in MMA.
Yeah.
Right. People get to the mount. If this person's done, right, then okay, great, then they're done. But you see them get to the mount, and then they just punch, and now they bridge it. Especially in beginner MMA.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh my God, this is where I actually get to win. Put the hooks in.
Right.
Put the hooks in.
And I think that's also going to be a practice in like focus, right? Really paying attention, because the moment that you felt my feet setting was when I could feel the pressure coming down.
Right.
You didn't even let me get started in the
No,
pitch,
no,
right?
no.
Like I never even got to get going, and I think that comes from just being really present. Right? Like
Yes.
really paying attention.
I'm really paying attention to little motions of how his body moved. I felt his hamstrings hit my butt a little more. When his hamstrings hit my butt a little more, I know he's pulling his feet in to bridge.
Right.
Like there's no mysteries of what's going on here. So therefore I start to sink into him.
Yeah.
Like
It
I
felt
don't wait for the
pushed me
bridge.
through the floor.
Yeah.
Word. I like that. That was a great question.
Very good question.
Very cool. Is there anything from side control you guys want to go over? Tips for maintaining that position?
Tips for maintaining?
I think when we're talking about the smaller fighters, your mobility will always come into play, right? So the strength, I need that target to at least be still for a moment for me to apply whatever strength that I have. So for the smaller fighters, I think back exposure becomes a really big deal. So if I know that the stronger opponent is going to shoot that underhook, I'm already spinning the world to go find that back exposure, right? So it may not be a matter of, I wish I could hold people down in side control like I see bigger fighters do, is as much as what's happening right now that you could be paying attention to. If the stronger fighter is just blowing through you with their underhook, there's the back. Let's not fight where we are. Let's go to where we should be going.
I like to call this know who you are.
Yeah.
Right? You know who you are. You're not a big fighter.
Right.
We're gonna take it. So don't try to play a big fighter's game. So I think what you're saying, Professor, is when you feel this pummel coming,
Right.
Now look, you know that this person is way faster than me because we're talking you're smaller, I'm bigger.
Yeah.
So as I go, you have to be going around the other side, boom, like these switches, fast.
Right
Okay?
away.
Right away.
Yep.
When you feel the frame coming, look, you know that I'm gonna make this big frame. You're not gonna stop it. But you know I'm also going to expose the back on the other side when you jump over my legs, right? Like I give this big bridge. Look, take yourself away. Stand up a little bit. And now as I start coming through with my legs, here we go, boom, around the body. Right? And then also sometimes, like the bigger fighter, Professor, down for a sec, is able to push you off, right? They push you off and then they go to get their legs back in the game. Look, boom.
Yeah.
Around the legs too, because the big guy's slow. As soon as we push and bench press, we're like, oh, got him.
And standing in front of that strength
Yes.
is allowing it to work.
Yes.
Right? So notice how Professor never stopped moving there. Around the world, even when he stood up, his feet are still chopping because he's going to pass the guard to the other side. Stop and watch your great work. Here comes all that strength, right? Here comes all the weight.
We got like another minute or so. Are there any other questions that we got going?
Yeah, we got one more, and this will probably close
Good.
us out.
Okay.
So this is from Whitney Drake, and Matt Fender says, "Hey, professors."
Hey,
Matt,
what's
how are
up,
you?
Matt?
What up?
So from north-south, what are some sweeps from the bottom in no-gi?
Sweeps from the bottom?
Sweeps from the bottom of the north-south position.
Well, it gets a little tricky there,
Because
right?
you don't have the belt, right?
We're talking about sometimes I need to survive the bad position rather than win there.
Yeah.
So sweeping from bottom north south may be difficult, right? You'll see the really flexible cats try to crawl on top, post on the hips, and walk over. But
Okay.
again, that's tough because you're in a bad spot trying to like take a big swing.
I'll gladly go over some escapes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll gladly go over some north-south escapes, and I would like to, which will then possibly let us look at this back roll thing that you're talking about, right? But let's first start with the escape of the north-south. So let's start with talking that with the same thing with my side control, with my hand inside, right? All of this comes down to inside position, right? If I don't gather inside space, then there's no nothing.
Yep.
Right? There's just things getting worse for me.
Right.
So, where do we start? Let's start side control, Professor. So I start, look, I have my hands in, and then I feel the person going to north-south. If you keep, sit up for 1 sec. If you keep your hands exposed like this, you're going to lose inside position. Okay? The reason they're going around your head is because you have good inside position of some sort, either a frame or a pummel. Here he goes. He starts to go inside. My hands get tight. Okay? And now when he stays there, look, from here, look, I'll give a little bridge, and I'll put one hand in each armpit. Okay? And I'll just be like cupping his lats right here. Notice my elbows are very tight. From this position, I give a bridge, okay? And now, look, I've made space. On the bridge, my butt is going to go down, and my knees are going to attach to my elbows, so that here I am. Now, from this position, I pick a side. I'll pick this side. I open the armpit with one hand. My opposite foot comes into the space, just the foot. Cup, spin through, and now here I am ready to escape.
So slick.
Okay?
I like that.
This is the only escape I do. It's been 20 years, and it hasn't failed me yet.
Man, it's working, yeah.
So one more time, okay? My hands are cupping. Bridge, as my hips go down, my knees come up. I have to cup here, okay? If I have no grip, he's gonna start attacking my feet, okay? Now, open, foot in the armpit, spin my head through. Here we go.
Nice.
I wanna just leave it there, because you have to have that escape,
Right.
right?
Be safe first.
Yeah. The gi thing that you did, that comes with the luxury of being very skilled at jiu-jitsu.
Right, so there's where you'll hear that I was really picky with that word there. I said I cheat. That is taking the gi and using it to like supersede some rules in jiu-jitsu, right? There are some concepts that we have to really play by at all times. So I get to cheat a little bit with the belt or the lapels because I can skip some steps that wouldn't necessarily work in like the roots of our jiu-jitsu. Like if we're in a parking lot of a grocery store,
Right.
like I need to improve my safety in the position rather than try to be offensive from there, right? So that's more of a sports jiu-jitsu technique rather than when we're talking about like what Professor's using here.
Now, even in the sport of it, you're very good. You're very skilled, right? You get to. It's like the Matrix. When you know and understand all the rules, you get to break them a little bit, right?
What matters is your intention.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Think we'll close it up,
Yeah.
guys. I'm gonna close up today, just how I closed up the recording. There are a lot of people out there in the world, you know, and we are all in this fight together.
Right.
It's a very different fight than any of us have ever lived through before, right? Because we've seen wars. We've seen actual wars where our troops go and fight a fight, okay? The war right now is being fought by our healthcare workers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to include in the healthcare workers the janitors,
Right.
who are cleaning the floors in the hospitals, where all of us, it hasn't, you know, I know my wife's hospital where she's working, it hasn't been that bad yet, right?
Yeah.
The ER's empty.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of serious cases, so nobody wants to come to the hospital. Normally people come to the hospital if they have sniffles and they're like run to the, you know, okay? But so the battlefront is there.
Right.
And your wife's hospital's a little different right now.
Right.
We all might not know somebody that has corona.
Yeah.
And we all might not know somebody that is very sick right now. But I guarantee you we all know somebody that had a really difficult day dealing with some life and death scenarios that we don't really even know they don't even really know how to fix it yet.
Right.
Right? So those days are very stressful. That's a really hard fight. You know? So reach out to somebody that you know is working in that hospital. That you know, I don't care if they are scrubbing the toilet. They are putting themselves at risk for us.
Yes. Yeah, man. I think it's really, really important to remember, right? That as scary as it all is and as how much panic we can feel, there's still someone getting up in the morning and going towards it. Right. There's still people going to go fix it, to help all of us. That takes mad guts, right? Getting up and walking towards the unknown. Everyone knows my wife Beth. We've been talking about it a little bit. This is really hard, right? And I watch her every day get up and go to work because it matters. It matters to her to care. And I think if I could say anything right now is it matters for all of us to care, right? We can all help, even if it's not in the front lines with our healthcare. We can be there to support them. There's so many avenues that we can give back. Man, staying safe at home, really big deal right now. There's so many ways we can contribute.
Right. Let's all do our parts. Right? Let's all do our parts in the doing what's necessary. I know it doesn't feel like it, right? Like this isolation, this social distancing, right?
Yeah.
You're like, man, like, I'll be fine. Yeah, you know what? You might be fine. Right? You might be fine. Probably you will be fine. But you might give it to somebody else who then later somebody has to make a decision of who's sick and who's not sick.
Yeah.
Right? And those aren't decisions we want to make. So stay home, guys. You know? Alex and I have chose to do this because we started right away.
Right.
And we've socially isolated in every other way except each other.
Yep.
You know? I don't want you to think that we are not social isolating, right? Other than the two of us, you know, we are. I'm in 2 monogamous relationships right now, right? One with my wife and one with Alex. So I appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
And
so much. Thank you guys so much. Like, this is incredible. We miss everyone so much. Like,
Yeah.
it's so hard, like, not to see everyone on a day-to-day basis. I hope you and your family are able to find some calm in all this chaos. I know that doing this, being with you guys, even if it's just remotely, is that calm for me.
even when we just film,
Yeah.
even when we just film, we come in, we film, and we get to give back. So
Right.
Helping on a different front that we also
Yeah,
talked
man.
about. So man, I really really appreciate you joining in. There are so many ways that showed me how much I love jiu-jitsu and our community. And this is just another one of them. You know, this is just another one of them. We will see you soon. Reach out, the Shaved Gorilla.
Yeah, on Instagram.
At Fire Marshal 205. I'm much better on Instagram than I am on Facebook or Twitter. Don't do it on Twitter. Twitter's a place for hate. So that's it, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Good work, my friend.
Hey, Jordan.
Nice job, Coach.
Thanks, guys.